Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I will be discussing the deep and philosophical topic of what happens after death. Now, full disclaimer, this is just my opinion and I am not like trying to force it on anybody. This is just kind of my subjective, opinion, my thoughts. So to begin, I would like to kind of put out what are my, kind of current beliefs and what is, what kind of could happen after death. Now, I am not a religious person and I don't want to make this a religious video. So I'm just kind of going to refer as an afterlife in the general sense and, kind of just as an afterlife and why people, kind of have created it. But on that later on. Now, personally, I believe that everything is kind of, I don't believe in, anything more than our, kind of physical world, anything more than simply the world that exists. Big Bang, couple billion years of particles, evolution, humanity. Boom. That's kind of my thought. I don't believe in a higher power. I do kind of believe in the simulation theory because it has merit in my opinion. I mean, just look at this world. I'm walking around in here. I mean, like, what's to say me walking, to the store isn't the same thing. So yeah. Um, so what happens after death? Now, in my opinion, what happens is that you simply die and you cease to exist. And that sounds very bleak and very sad, and it kind of is. And I think that's one of the main reasons why people prefer to, kind of believe in an afterlife. And the best way to look at it is to simply imagine what life or existence was like before, I or you was born, and to kind of try and remember what that was like. And the thing is, you can't. And in my opinion, that's exactly what happens after death. Now, if a person dies and their brain remains intact, and in good condition, then for about 10 minutes roughly, the brain is still kind of powered on. It's still functioning, kind of. So when people have near-death experiences, or like they die for 2 minutes or a minute, and then they wake up, kind of become alive again, and they say, "Oh, I saw God," or "I saw like hell," or something like that. That's simply just kind of what they, in my opinion, what kind of they imagined would happen after death, and their brain just kind of dreamed it all. In my opinion, it's all just kind of a dream, right? You die if your brain is intact for 10 minutes. It's just kind of a dream. It's a very powerful dream. It's the last dream, in my opinion, you will ever have. So it better be powerful, right? And there are different kinds of varieties. Usually people just see kind of their whole life, kind of flash before their eyes, which is kind of the most common thing. So that's my opinion of what happens after death, which is nothing. And when I first started, kind of contemplating this topic, I was very um kind of sad because I kind of realized that is what I really kind of believed in, because there is no evidence there's anything after, after our initial existence. Like, sure, our existence may feel very powerful and unbelievable that it could like ever cease to kind of end, cease to exist. But that's just the way that, in my opinion, it is. And holy, what is happening here? What is this? Okay, I need to run away. Oh my god, that is... Okay, what is that? Oh, hell no, bye. God, I totally forgot what it was. Okay, I just died. Okay. That's cool. Okay, literally on topic. Now, yeah, so I was talking about, kind of what happens after death. And I think that people kind of want to
I've
believe.
been looking for you.
Yeah, okay, already got
Looks
this.
like that's it.
Yeah,
Got to go.
I think people want to believe in, life after death, simply because it gives them comfort. But in my opinion, it is the sole kind of reason that there is nothing really after death. That's what makes life important, right? It makes life like truly something unique, and it makes life like a thing that should not be wasted. That, and even like and by wasted, I don't mean like not being like ultra rich. And this kind of ties into my kind of idea of a meaning of life. That's why, in my opinion, it's very important for a person to kind of figure out what their meaning of life is and then act on that. Because like if you go through your life and you don't kind of fulfill your own purpose, then that's, I think, in my opinion, is a life wasted. And you only get one of those, really. And actually, another kind of talking about the point I made before, uh in my opinion, like there is the soul of a person is only kind of how they react to things, and kind of how they basically how they react to things. So everything, the soul is just simply stored in the brain, in the neurons, and once that kind of ceases to exist for whatever reason, stops functioning, that person is just gone. So I don't necessarily, believe in a soul. And that is you know it's very hard to kind of not only explain to people but also sometimes accept these things, because existing and being conscious and thinking about things, merely thinking about yourself, existing, it's just really hard not to kind of believe in something higher than a simple biological thing. But like, okay, if we do have a soul, do monkeys have souls? Like, these are this. I kind of don't want to go into that any further. But yeah, my main kind of point is that I don't really believe in that, and it's really hard to accept. For me, it was, at least. But that's what gives life for me meaning, because you really need to make the best of it, and that's also gives a huge reason to kind of try and I would say worry about health and worry about things, and really, really plan ahead for the future. Because, like, if you want to live, let's say, for example, I believe that there's only like, one life. So that means I got one shot at existence, and I really need to, make it worth something. So I need to kind of figure out, what is kind of my meaning of life, and I also need to kind of start planning ahead for the future. I can't be like doing stupid things before like anything. I really need to think about it. Like, is this worth putting my existence on? You know, and the reason I said this is that because many people, they just kind of uh do things that really endanger them, but they just kind of they brush it off. Something like an adrenaline rush, and in my opinion, that's really careless. But you know, everybody has their own kind of thing, but that's just kind of how I perceive it. And I think believing in something after death or a higher power, it's not wrong. It's not. Many like atheists, people like that, they would kind of shame it, I suppose. Not me. I don't, because it's a really, like, believing in a higher power, in my opinion, it's not. I don't take it as when I talk to somebody and they believe in a higher power or a religion, I don't take it as, many atheists just think, oh, they're stupid. No, I don't think that, because it's a really great way to kind of cope with life, kind of process, not only cope is kind of a negative word, you know, if you have a problem and you're kind of coping. No, kind of process life. You know, if you believe in a higher power and something bad happens to you, you might you might not ruin your life just because something bad happened to you. You know, that's why, in my opinion, you know, religion and stuff like that, it's not a bad thing, it's not a stupid thing, it's purely kind of just a human thing that some humans, you know, kind of do and need, and some just don't. And it's not, it's obviously, you know, there are you know, kind of facts in there's the kind of scientific oh, that's a dragon. There's a scientific point of view, which is, you know, analyze, and even scientifically we can't say for sure that, you know, God doesn't exist. So yeah, that's kind of my point. Also, damn, that's the dragon. I really don't want to be fighting dragons on stream, not on stream, on video. But I really got I don't even have the inventory space. I mean, this is, what a scam. No, I'm gonna take this road and not engage. I gotta make a video here, guys. This is not productive. Yeah. Okay. God damn you. Dragons, wolves, what next? Oh man. Marvels. Alright, whatever. Onwards. Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of just my main point. So in my opinion, life is very, like, kind of biological. Nothing really happens after death, and that's kind of what, you know, gives life meaning. That's why I personally also try and create as much as possible, because every day is a chance to create something that will, you know, outlast you. That's, you know, not the only reason I make things, obviously, because, you know, as a human I kind of like making things. It's enjoyable, but you know, it's a perk that, you know, you make a YouTube video and in 200 years, you know, if the servers are still running, people just might watch you. It's like a time capsule. It's kind of like books, you know. There are many books that have been written by people that are now, you know, gone, but through books we kind of get to talk to them again. It's like I think Carl Sagan said, a book is a doorway inside the soul of the writer, and I think that's very true. That's why, you know, in my meaning of life also is to kind of create, to kind of persist on living, not maybe biologically, you know, in 100 years when maybe, you know, I do pass, but kind of with you know, with those doorways. It's a very metaphorical thing to say, but yeah, that's kind of just my opinion on what happens. And, you know, again, it's just my opinion. Like, some people, they just wouldn't be comfortable believing that, and that's kind of all that matters. What matters is that you kind of feel comfortable and you do what matters to you. For me, what matters more is kind of the facts and kind of living with them. And for some people, you know, it might not be, oh goddamn, shite. Okay, what I do I have, like, the world sprint? Maybe I could force this guy. Actually, I'm gonna quick save. Oh fuck. And I'm just gonna see you later, inoculator. Okay, I kinda killed him. Okay, now I'm carrying too much. Great. Alright, that was intense. Yeah, guys, so that was kind of my take on what happens after death. I hope you enjoyed. If you can, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate the subscribes. As a small channel, you know, growing, it's one of the most, you know, whatever. Don't feel sorry for me, okay? But yeah, if you can, you know, subscribe, leave a like, comment. your thoughts. I would love to hear, kind of your take on this, because making videos about, philosophy, it's good to have other people kind of also giving some feedback on that, right? So yeah. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, whatever. I already said all this. Goodbye.